Howdy folks, welcome back. I finally got a chance to come back out here to the lease, and I normally take all my burlap and everything off my stands, and I take the feeder heads and batteries and stuff out of my feeders. I leave almost all the feeders up but one, except down there in the bottom in case it floods. It's been raining and cold, so I haven't had a chance to get back out here after deer season was over. It's always a sad time for me when I gotta get my stuff out, but I always look forward to next year. So Brenda tells me I don't film enough, so I thought I'd bring my camera with me. I don't know how I'm gonna film while I'm doing stuff, but I'll do the best I can. Anyway, it's been in the 70s the past 2 days. I've been wearing short sleeves, and today it's in the 40s with a 10 to 15 mile an hour north wind. So it's still February, so it's still winter time in Oklahoma, but we got teased a little bit with some nice weather. So anyway, we got a chance for cold rain tomorrow, and maybe mixed with snow. It's not supposed to accumulate. It's only supposed to be low, about 32 or 34 or something. But anyway, y'all take care. Come on along. Well, that's the best I can do, so we'll see how that works out. Can't see it now. So one down. There was an old one on there. I took it off too. I always do that so they don't get tore up. As you can see, let's see if you can see. This one's all kind of faded out compared to the new one I put up on there last year. So, because the sun kills them, UV tears everything up. And I take my foam off and everything. And so squirrels and stuff don't chew on that. And the weather doesn't tear them up. That way I can just put them back up. What I did forget was a trash bag to put all my zip ties in. So I guess I'm going to drop him inside the lunchbox. Anyway, next thing is I'll go over here to the feeder, and this is the stand in one of the feeders that one of the hunters left out here. I believe my wife said he's moved to Texas, so I guess I inherited his stuff. Very grateful. And anyway, I don't think I can pull these feeder heads. These are different feeders than what I have, and I think they're bolted in. They're not held in with wing nuts. But I'm going to take a look at them and see. The feeders are the most expensive parts of these feeders. The feeder head and the motor and everything. Now, barrels I can get at work, and you can use conduit for legs. Thankfully, I've been out here for 23 years, and by the grace of God watching over our stuff, nobody has stolen anything, even though we know there's been trespassers out here. So, but I take the feeders. Like I said, I'm going to take the timer and everything off of this one if I can't pull the feeder itself. So anyway, so I came over here to get the camera. Thought I was recording, and I wasn't recording. Got my lock off. Now my buckle broke when I put this up, and I tied it in a knot, and the knot was almost too good for me to get undone. So well, I'll try something here. There we go. Kind of put it in my coveralls, and Alrighty. Let's see if it was even still working. Yep, it was. It's been out here and it's only got 600 pictures on it, so it's been out here for a long time too. Anyway. All right. Now we're heading to the feeder. Let's see what I can do here. Not too short to get along there. Oh, I can get these off. So I'll probably dump what's left of the corn. No, I can't get it off because of this cage. I would have to unscrew the cage. Now I put this on during season because the coons are getting up there. Even though this part down here is fatter, and this part up here, they were reaching. And I probably overkilled. I'll redo it for this deer season. I can come back. I'd have to pull this whole cage, and I don't really feel like doing that to get the feeder head out. So I'm just going to pull the battery and the timer. Now these got solar panels on them, so these batteries stay charged almost all year long. So this spring, when we can come back for turkey season, is when I'll work on getting these off of here. Looks like I can undo them screws. There's some screws right there. I'll take the whole feeder head off, but John's had them out here for 6 years, 7 years. I guess I need to buy some solar panels because I replace my batteries every month on my other feeders. This had 3 bars when I first started in August, September. I think it was September. And it still has 3 bars. I have solar panels on. So this it goes in right there. Anyway. Well, everybody that hunts knows this. None of this stuff is cheap. Used to be, but that's why I try to protect my stuff. So as you can see, one of them big old fat raccoons bent this down. And there is still, I'm looking inside the window, but I can't see some corn left in there. There's not very much, it's pretty light. Alrighty, off to the next one. Alright, we're back in another one. This one has that little blind on it, but this whole thing needs redone. That stand's really rickety, it makes a lot of noise, and that's all tore up. It's got a metal frame on it, so I'm thinking maybe we can put some wood on it. Kind of build a shooting house. So, did my cage a little different on this one. This is what I need to do to the other one. this right here would come down, I could drop that feeder straight out, but it doesn't. This one's got a little corn left in it too, but I shake that down so the corn fills a hole up there, so wasp and stuff don't fly up inside of it. So these are Game Winner feeders. They're from Academy. Pretty nice feeders. Not sponsored. Nothing we have. It's just stuff that we use. We are not sponsored by anybody. Be nice. I'm not gonna lie. So this one's still showing full charged. It was like that when I turned it on. So I guess those solar panels really do work. These have been on here so long, they're corroded. And I'm afraid I'm going to pull them out at the bottom of the feeder motor. Jeez. Yeah, I can't pull it off. So I'm gonna get my dikes, cut the wire, and then I will splice it next season. I've got all these little ends like this, male and female. So, all right, guys, we're down here at the 136, what we call the 136. There used to be a tree right here that we hung one of our first feeders. Well, actually, it was right over there. When we started throwing corn years ago, turn this around. This whole thing all used to be scrub oak. Now you can't see it real good for here. I know we've showed you other pictures, but anyway. The rancher is cattle, and they're cattlemen, but we still get deer every year or two. And Brenda sits up there on that bluff. That's what she calls Eagle Nest. That's probably where she's shot 80% of her deer from. A lot of them are over there on that ridge. We have this in here, mainly does use it, but hold those. Get bucks. So anyway, these I take. These are my feeders. We leave the barrel. The only person who comes out here is a cowboy, and he checks the fence caps. This one's really hard to get to unless you come out here by horseback or four-wheeler. But we used to be able to drive down that right there, but it's gotten so rough and washed out. You can't drive down it no more. At least I don't. So got my camera on that old tree over there. When it falls, don't know what we're going to do. Probably have to put a T-post. Attach it to a T-post. These funnels I made before I started using the buckets. And these worked out real good because of where I have the T-post. We didn't used to have this fenced. So I drove T-posts in the ground to keep the cows from knocking the feeders over. And these funnels are the only funnels that actually work. The coons can't get up on them, and we don't have any pictures of raccoons on this feeder at all. They're down there on the ground where the corn falls, but none on the feeders itself. So I work for a print shop, and these are old printing plates, and I just attached them. It's starting to come out. I have to come back in here and do some tightening up. But anyway, I painted them black and just kind of attached them to the poles. And like I said, they've been out here for quite a few years. So. Well, I forgot my duct tape. Since I take these feeder heads, I normally put a piece of duct tape up on that to keep wasp and stuff from going up inside of there. You know, you open that up in the summer and get a face full of wasps. It's not good, especially when you're allergic like I am. Didn't used to be, but I swell up like a tick now. Got my salt block still, a little bit left, not much. That's been out here for 2 seasons. I'm surprised it lasted that long. When I get these home or whatever, I oil the motors. Get a little 3-in-1 oil. Put down in there and where they're ready to go next year. Still charged. Surprise. Just knew they'd be dead. They've been out here for a long time. I bought new batteries this year, so that may be one reason. Wanted them to feed the corn out. There's still a little left in there, but not much. A little more than what I thought. So we'll just leave it in there. It won't go bad. Back when we used to have trees out here, those are metal trash can lids. The squirrels got up there on top of them and ate holes. Actually got down inside of one of them. I don't know if it was this one or the other one. So I put metal trash can lids up on them to keep them from doing that anymore. Even got camo duct tape. I don't know where I got this or how long ago I got it, but alrighty. We're all good till next year. This coming August, God willing. Get the camera, and we'll go around and the tripod feeders in them woods over there. It's just held on here with baling wire. Used to be bolted into a tree, but tree falls down. Took the box with it, so. Bushnell cameras. Had these cameras for years. This one has a problem with batteries, so I had to put something in there to keep them tight. Yeah, 1,450 pictures and still got good battery life left. I'll shut her off. Left a little snack for the deer if they'll come back. Alright guys, so 3 down, 2 to go. The last one will be the one on the bottom, the one that I take out. So we will come back at you at the tripod feeder. I gotta take the blind off that tripod also. So we'll see y'all in a little bit. Welcome back guys. Take my sunglasses off. Oh, I still got sunglasses on. So we're here at the what we call the tripod feeder. It still has corn in it. So I got that battery I pulled over yonder that was still full charged. I'm gonna go ahead and put in this feeder and let it finish feeding out. I don't know if that one's dead or not. I really had to put the cage on this one. So I'm gonna have to come out here and redo this. I wound up having to put that one on the outside because the raccoons were still getting to my spin plate, even with all the other cage I had on it. I don't know how, but I've got camera pictures. You can sit there and watch the pictures. You can click on them real fast, make it look like a video, and the corn was just raining out of there. So ever since I did that, it worked, but I need to cut everything out from the inside, and I'll do that this spring on a nice day. And so it doesn't look like what it looks like, and the corn can get thrown out a little bit beside just straight down. But all I'm going to do today is change the camera card and then change the battery and let it finish feeding out. I don't know if you guys can see over there, but there's Brenda's tripod. We both sit in it, so actually I don't think she ever sat in it this year. She didn't hunt that much this year because she's got into her little business, arts and crafts. That's where she's at today. She's at her first show of the year here. The deer's still coming here. We got deer tracks down here. So that may mean the battery is still working. There's not a whole lot left, but might as well let them have it. This takes a little bit to get into, so. But hey, you know, corn's so expensive now, it really wasn't too bad last year. When I started doing this, I probably fed now, I don't know, 15, 18 years maybe. You could buy a bag of corn, a 40-pound bag of corn for like 99 cents. So I used to buy it in bulk, like some of our videos like I did this year and last year. I could get 1,000 pounds for $100. So, you know, it was pretty cheap. And like everything else, it's gotten more expensive. So, you know, I bought a ton this year. I think 6 barrels. I think it was 6. May have been a little over a ton. And I still got 2.5 barrels left. Of course, I still feed at home. I'm throwing about 8 seconds a day, mainly in the afternoon right now. And then once green up happens, I just back it off to about 4 seconds so we can still see the kids. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come out here and cut all this stuff off. It's on the inside, this cage and all this cage right here. So that means everything I got on here, I'm gonna have to take off, and I got a cage out here because that's what I originally did to try to keep the raccoons from getting to the spin plate. I mean, I don't know how they were doing it, because I mean that's quite a ways. But it was mainly one that we could tell, and you can see right here. These are footprints from the raccoons. They still get up even with these buckets. It's a little harder for them, but anyway, when I put this on, we would see them on it, but they can't get to it. So right in the mud puddle. So don't be wearing that glove no more today. Oh, lost a tree. Luckily it fell that way. Downside, these trees in here are 50-50. Half of them are dead, half of them aren't. So we're hoping that he doesn't spray no more. According to my buddy, he's hunted the same land all his life. So he's hunted with his dad and his uncles. He said once you get into your mid-70s, he said unless you got some young people to help, he said hunting's gonna get real hard. So that's why we're trying to get Eli to get a little more involved. But Eli only hunted youth season this year. Got him a little girlfriend, and plus his grades weren't real good. So, but once he got him a little girlfriend, he didn't really show too much interest, which it's all good. I still got one bar. Got 2,500 pictures. That's a lot. A lot of them will be shadows and critters. I bet a lot of them are raccoons. I think the first night when we put this one back out, the raccoons started coming. Yeah. These batteries are about shot, but I think they'll make do for another month. I get back out here. Even during season, I normally, it gets you in the rut, and I'll check my cameras maybe every 2 weeks. But I try not to get in the area where the feeder is too much. So I won't bore you guys with taking the burlap blind off of the other feeder, and then I'll join you all down in the bottom. See y'all in a bit. Welcome back, y'all. So we're down here in the bottom. I've been hunting down here in this bottom 20 of the 23 years we've hunted out here. Normally sit over there on that hill. The crossing, it used to be a main crossing. It's right down there about 50 yards. And I used to sit over on that bank, but it washed out. And then when they spray the trees or whatever, they don't cross in here like they used to. They travel up and down this up and down the creek. So this is, I've killed 3 pretty nice bucks down here since 2020. I shot a pretty nice white 8-point in 2020 with my rifle. And then last year, or 2022, I got flyer. And then this past season, I got I call him the split G2 12-point. Still waiting to hear from the taxidermist. So he's had it for over 14 months. Well, I've got the rack. He hadn't called me yet. He told me it'd be about 14 months before he got to it. So anyway, it's going to be a little bit of work. But we'll get her done. Get it out of here. Normally, I don't know if I left the fence up last year. Sometimes, I don't know if you can see that stick in that tree behind me. So sometimes the creek can get up pretty high. And you can see all this debris piles up back here. So if it does, it's gonna kind of probably bend and wash the fence up, but it's a lot of work to put this up. So anyway, looks like it's empty. If it has any corn in it, it's very little. So we'll get to work. We'll try to tuck you in, bring you along. Have to put on my wet glove. Oh well. Still got a little bit of salt left. Looks like there's a deer track right there. Got in the ground a little bit and they're pawing at the ground. Whatever corn's left in there, I'll dump. So this is kind of sandy loam soil. So I'm gonna have to get my dikes and just cut those. The T-posts actually help the feeder from sinking in the sand, as I had that problem last year. I had 2 T-posts. Oh, I have them in my back pocket from the other stand. Like I said before, we had to use T-posts for the cattle. And then I put plates on this tree because I had one leg tied to this tree. And the raccoons were climbing up the tree and getting on the feeder. But that's pretty long way, but they would slide down. With this cage, they can't, even though they can get up there, as you can see their little footprints on top of these buckets. They can't get to that spin plate. As I've got this cage on the outside of the barrel. So they're daggum determined to get to that corn, I'm here to tell you. I really don't, care if they get to it on the ground. I do care if they empty my feeders. This one takes a little bit to get into to get the battery out of it. It's easier to do while it's standing up, so. Because before I put all these pieces of baling wire on here, I only had these 3 little deals to hold it up, and actually a squirrel, I think it was a squirrel, got inside of that. So this feeder normally does really well with the battery. See what it's saying. Still telling the right time. Battery still says 100%. There's not a solar panel on this one, but this feeder does really well. It normally only takes one battery all year. So I change it maybe once during the season. This is a Moultrie feeder head. It's done really, really well as far as battery usage. Funny thing is that little clock or whatever runs the whole time. It doesn't seem to drain the battery. I really should probably take these off, but I'm not. Okay. Oh, there's still quite a bit of corn in there. So this is going to be fun. And I've hurt my shoulder, so I'm going to have to be careful. Guess I'll go this way with it. These legs are so flimsy. Now we'll have to unbolt them, take them out. You might be asking why I just don't leave it up. I have to unbolt that feeder head. Like I said, this is an old drum. I just bought a different feeder head for it, so. And I can't unbolt it because I can't reach down inside of it, so I just take it home. This is a leg that got bent, and I had to make a little splint for it. If any of y'all out there that hunt that got tricks to keep the raccoons off your feeders, I'd love to hear it. Just leave a comment or whatever. Tell me what you guys use, or post a link to maybe a video you guys have done. Well, I don't know what I've done to my shoulder. Should have got Eli today. But he probably has to work. Go grab the camera, and then we'll load everything up. Don't know how good this video is going to be. But I told Brenda I would start helping out with content for her channel. Okie doke, well, I'll get all loaded up, and I'll show you what my four-wheeler looks like loaded down. Then we'll have one more stop on the way out. Got to pull the chairs off the double stand blind that me and Eli never sat in this year. That stand really needs to be moved because it was in a good spot when the trees were all green around it, and now it just stands out because all the trees are dead. So, and it's a lot of work because it's a double stand. We'll have to take it apart and move it. Find a location for it, put it up, and just leave it. So, anyway, y'all stay tuned. Here we are at the double stand, guys. So, get up there, get the burlap off in the seats, and shooting rail, padding, and load it all up on the four-wheeler and get on out. Alright guys, we're all loaded up, almost all loaded up. Got to put the lunchbox up, got the camera in the lunchbox. So anyway, hope I didn't bore you too much. Thanks for coming along, and we'll be coming back out here in the middle of March, pick up that other feeder. Hopefully we can start fishing the ponds a little bit. Hopefully we'll hear some turkeys, because we paid a spring turkey hunt. So if not, we'll may do a little predator hunting and try to shoot some pigs if we see them. But anyway, Brandon and I both just love being out here. It's so peaceful and quiet. I know you've heard us say that before, how thankful I am to God for allowing the landowner, or for the landowner allowing us to hunt on their land. And they're gracious enough. They're good people. Even though we pay, but they don't have to. But they're good people, and they allow us to hunt on their land, and we're thankful. And I thank God for the great outdoors and for the goodness of the family that owns this land. So anyway, hope I didn't bore you guys too much. There's the old double stand. So y'all take care. God bless.